Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In case you're new here, welcome. My name's Mary, and here on YouTube I like to share many of the projects I have going on around here with you all. I know this video seems a little bit out of season for a lot of you, but I'm gonna go ahead and publish it anyway. Maybe it'll give you some ideas for next year, and plus I did film some other things that we had done, like last minute things around the cottages I wanted to share with you. So go ahead and just play what I had filmed earlier this year. It probably seems like I have two introductions here, but let's get right into it and enjoy. Today I'm so excited to be doing some landscaping here at the cottages. I can't believe we're to this point. So exciting. I thought I'd take you guys with me. We have a beautiful day out there, and Mom just pulled in. She'll be helping me kind of decide where to put all of this shrubbery. Yesterday, John and I had gone to Fredericksburg Greenhouse. We had bought our shrubbery and a couple of trees. And at this point, I feel like I'm just winging it. Not sure how many we'll actually need. Maybe I overshot it a bit, not sure. And maybe we'll end up going back up and getting some more, but we'll see how it goes. Join us as we work on this and enjoy. It was a bit of a challenge to come up with something to plant into these flower beds that would be fairly, low maintenance and still look pretty. At home I'm used to just kind of putting anything anywhere, and everything's really full and probably high maintenance. Of course, since we don't live here, I don't want something that has to be, maintained all the time. I realize there's always going to be some maintenance involved with landscape, but maybe something that just takes a little less. So what I'm opting to go with for the fronts of the cottages are basically just a row of hydrangeas, and in this case they're bobo hydrangeas. I thought they're so pretty. I just love the pink color of them right now. And then of course boxwoods. In this case I'm going with the green velvet boxwood. And I also have a few weigelas that I'm going to try planting in between the boxwoods and hydrangeas. And John really wanted me to plant something out around the whole cottage. He's probably going to be the one mowing the lawn, and he didn't want to mow up against the cottage. We chose dogwood trees to plant in front of the cottages. And some of the other plants that we're going with are the dwarf Alberta spruce, variegated boxwoods, and bowling balls, and then of course more just regular boxwoods too, and a few hydrangeas here and there. So basically not just a ton of different varieties, kind of sticking with the same, cohesive look. We did make another trip up to the greenhouse and got a few more things. Ended up getting some ground covers. I always think ground covers, add a lot to a flower bed, and then of course it saves some mulch too. We're trying to... Right, yeah. We're trying to decide how far apart to plant these. We kind of want to space them, like zigzag them down here. We wanted some kind of a privacy barrier to be in between the cottages. We realize it's going to take a couple of years to actually, provide privacy, but it's a start. We opted to go with some arbs or arborvitaes, and the name of them is Green Giant, and hopefully there'll be a bird attraction, and then of course privacy later on. So here's what Mom and I set up, and standing back, I'm almost thinking the boxwoods are too close together. So I think what I'll do is remove at least one of them along this side, and maybe even two along that side. I'm going to kind of remeasure. John ended up digging a total of around 120 holes. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's just different building something like this that you plan to rent out versus if you were to build a new house for yourself. Or this is how we'd probably do it, is just move into it and then maybe start the landscaping process as the years go by. Probably wouldn't do everything that first year, so it definitely just seems like a lot at once. But thankfully our soil here is really good. Like, there's not many stones, so it was fairly easy digging, but those arborvitaes especially took deeper holes, so those took a lot of time. But I do know he said like the fronts of the cottages were all new soil. It was really easy to dig that, so it wasn't all just really hard work, but still lots of work. He did a really good job of being patient and coming over here and, you know, digging all those holes. I did briefly debate getting a professional landscaper to design these beds, but you know me, I like to try to do things on my own if I can. It's definitely far from professional, but hopefully once everything starts, you know, growing and spreading, it'll look okay. With gardening, of course, things can be, you know, moved or added or changed. It doesn't have to stay exactly this way, but this is at least a beginning. I knew that in order to define these flower beds, I would have to have an edge on them, and the only way I really know how is to simply take a shovel and just create an edge. I know there's edgers out there that probably do a good job too, but for me, I just like the look of the flower bed just being heaped up a bit, and I think you get that look if you just hand dig it. So that's what I'm doing on this day, and it did take me most of the day to do both of them, but I think it's worth it. And I had really easy digging, being that, again, there's no stones or rocks like we're so used to that at home. Like you can't even dig just a small hole without hitting stones at our house, so this was really nice. Most of the time I used an electric cord to kind of get the shape of my flower bed before, you know, I started digging. We ended up getting black bark mulch. Normally at home we'd use the leaf bark combination, but they advised us at Kaufman Mulch, that's where we got it, that the bark mulch is actually a little heavier and a little less likely to blow away, which we definitely need to consider here up on the hill. We were really thankful for all of the help that we got with this mulching. Some of the other kind of last minute outside things consisted of hanging little wooden signs on the porches specifying the name of the cottage. That was pretty exciting for me. Again, one of those moments where I thought, is this actually happening? We ended up having a lot of outdoor cleaning. I, of course, didn't get videos of everything, but I think with being up here on the hill and not having grass in right away, it just created lots of dust. Like anytime the wind would blow, there'd be dust clouds blowing up against the siding. Ended up going and scrubbing all of the siding out around the cottages. I've talked about her before, but I watched Garden Answer, and Laura has 3 of these pretty trellises that she has hanging on a wall. She got them at Gardener's Supply, and I only had room for 1 per cottage, so I ended up buying 2 of them. Here I'm putting them together and hanging them. I did plant some clematis vines under these trellises. They're not very big and they're a little sad looking right now, so not sure are they actually going to survive or not. But I think once they'll get started, it'll look really pretty. It was a bit of a challenge to get our circle driveway put in neatly. It's still not perfect, but I think it'll function. Pretty sure there's probably an easier way to go about it than what we did, but in the end I think it turned out okay. We're still actually waiting on some grass to grow. We ended up getting it planted kind of late in the season. Not sure is it actually going to grow or not, but I guess there's always next year. Moving on to the back patios, we ended up putting some gas fire pits in. We got these at Colway. If you're local, you probably know who I'm talking about, but they're a company that specialize in all kinds of different fireplaces, grills, fire pits, and we were thankful to have Joel help us out to put these in. You probably remember him from tile work and flooring. And we're really excited to have Berlin Gardens furniture here at the cottages. And if you're looking for some good quality furniture, make sure to check them out. I'll put their link down below in the description box. They also built our structures for us on our back patios, these pretty pergolas. We couldn't be happier with them. Eventually I do want to have a vine spinning up them, maybe a honeysuckle, not quite sure, but I think that would look really pretty and smell great, of course. But for now it's just a nice filtered spot to sit, especially come, the spring and summer and fall months. We're hoping people can really enjoy these spaces, looking out over the rolling hills and valleys. Just so beautiful up here. Of course they're going to be used more during the warmer months, but with the fire pit back here, even if it's chilly, you can still sit out here and stay, relatively warm. One of the most exciting final things to do for me for the cottages was creating the sign that would hang out by the road. And I ended up using Canva to design it, and we got Heritage Signs to make it for us. They did a phenomenal job. I was so impressed. I was able to take some video clips as the sign was being made, and this was all, of course, so interesting to me, being that we work somewhat with, decals too, although on a much smaller scale. John and my dad dug the hole for the post, and it was all just surreal as we were putting this up. I still couldn't believe it was happening. In case you missed out on hearing about our cottages being available to book, I have the links down below in the description box if you want to check them out. And thank you to so many of you that have been booking. Just know that we appreciate that so much, and I can't wait to have you there. Like I've often said throughout this whole process, you know, this is my favorite part, just knowing that we're able to open up those cottages and actually have people there. We just hope that people feel, you know, peace and just are able to relax while they're there. Our goal has always been to just make them so cozy that people don't even want to leave. So thank you again for that support, and I will keep you guys updated come, you know, next spring and into the summer as our shrubs and plants grow, hopefully. It just looks so bare at this point. Everything's kind of small, but hopefully it'll grow in, and I'll share that with you, kind of keep you updated on how it's looking. And it'll just be a different style of gardening than what I have around here. I, of course, was aiming to keep it rather, you know, maintenance free for the most part, but still have that, you know, cottagey feel to it, hopefully. And we do have plans to add an orchard. I've talked about this before, and possibly even just a big, you know, vegetable garden along with some you know, flowers and just little paths to walk through. You guys are staying there at the cottages, you're able to enjoy that too. And hopefully we'll get to that come spring. Thanks for watching. I hope your fall season is going great, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.